We know this election is going to be tight in that it's going to come down to a few votes.
Marnie Larkin was a campaign manager for the Manitoba Progressive Conservatives in the last provincial election. On the night the PCs lost power to the NDP, outgoing Premier Heather Stephenson singled out Larkin during her concession speech.
To my campaign manager and friend, Marnie Larkin.
Larkin is also the co-owner of Boom Done Next, a Winnipeg consulting firm that took part in a daycare project involving the former PC government and John Q. Public, a company owned by 12 Manitoba municipalities. The project saw the province provide funds to municipalities, which in turn contracted John Q. Public to manage the construction. John Q. then paid Boom Done Next. In April, Manitoba's education minister stood up in the Manitoba legislature to announce her government had asked for an investigation into the daycare project.
When we became aware of the irregularities of these contracts, we cannot in good faith ignore the political overlap. That's why we have written to the Auditor General asking him to investigate and provide reassurance to Manitobans.
The day Schmidt stood up in the ledge, the government provided a financial summary which showed payments from John Q. Public to Boom Done Next.
Marnie Larkin's company was paid $2.8 million for project management. We have some significant questions about what that $2.8 million was used for and how that contract was awarded.
At the time, Larkin's business partner, Joe Liuzzi, who co-owns Boom Done Next, said the PC campaign manager had nothing to do with the daycare project. He said Marnie Larkin recused herself from this work entirely and played no role in the project. 2 weeks earlier, John Q. Public CEO Colleen Sklar also said Larkin was not involved with the daycares.
Not on this project, no.
Information obtained by CBC News contradicts the claims made by Joe Liuzzi and Colleen Sklar that Marnie Larkin was not involved in the daycare project. Newly obtained documents suggest otherwise. Draft meeting minutes obtained through a Freedom of Information request shows Larkin met with 2 provincial childcare officials and 2 members of the province's Social Innovation Office to discuss the daycare project. CBC News also obtained confirmation that Larkin attended the meeting on May 27, 2022. John Q. Board Chair Brad Erb said in a statement Larkin was consulted in the early days of John Q, but didn't specify in what capacity. Erb declined to comment about Larkin's presence at the May 2022 daycare meeting. Larkin said in the statement she worked on a number of files for John Q, but did not specify which ones. She and her business partner Joe Liuzzi didn't respond to requests for comment about her meeting with provincial officials about the daycare project. Manitoba's finance minister says Larkin's attendance at the meeting raises more questions.
I think the fact that it's been confirmed that she was present at the meeting undermines the story that's been told so far about her involvement in the project.
The leader of the official opposition, however, said he's not concerned with the Stephenson government's daycare project.
That our government was committed to growing our economy and growing childcare spaces. Manitoba's won childcare spaces. That was the government's focus.
There is no word as to whether the Auditor General will investigate the daycare project. Bartley Kivas, CBC News, Winnipeg.